to extremely hard very fast. Okay? The stuff we're going to do today and Monday and possibly Tuesday, it's going to be fairly easy. But then essentially it moves into slope, and that's when it kind of goes like, shoo. So if you are not understanding what we're doing today and Tuesday and Monday, I need y'all to be like, Miss Kenny, I don't understand. Because we do have a couple of days of wiggle room to reteach if we need. Okay? So this is about a 15-day, give or take, unit. So we also have an extra 5 days. And that unit includes testing and using a day for our study guide, and a day for review, and a day for the benchmark. So again, if you need me to slow down, I need you all to be like, Miss Kenny, we didn't understand. That's going to be very important with this unit, because this unit kind of ties in a couple of things that you're going to do later on. Does that make sense? So you've got to speak up, even if you're like, you want to tell me one-on-one or send me an email and be like, Miss Kenny, I just didn't understand, because you don't want to say it in front of everybody. That's fine. I don't have a problem doing a day of reteaching or 2. Okay? But it's up to you guys. All right, this is going to go away. I'm going to pull up the PowerPoint. All right, so in your notebook, you are going to solve these 4 problems. Because remember, equations and stuff is not going to go away. So in your notebook, you're solving number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I'm going to give you, let's say, let's do 6 minutes. Because it obviously goes from easy to a little bit harder. And then we'll move on. You're amazing. Thank you. You got me so excited I wrote 5 instead of 4. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Remember, when you're done, stand up for me. got a little under 3 minutes. Nothing. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go over these. So the first one, walk me through what do I do? You should be 100% a review for us at this point. Audrey.
You add 6 to both sides.
Then,
Then you divide 2 by both sides.
and x equals
14.
thumbs up if that's what you got. Look at that, y'all are amazing. I don't care what they say about y'all. All right, next, walk me through. Jeffrey.
You do, 3 minus negative 32
Okay.
and get negative 35.
Okay.
And you divide it and get negative 7.
Perfect. How many of you guys got x equals negative 7? Make sure you're carrying those negatives. Okay? If not, make sure you get it. Alright. This one. Probably the easiest one on the whole page. Right? Alright, Ariana, walk me through it.
Subtract 10 on both sides.
X equals negative 15. Thumbs up if you got that one. Okay? Alright, last one. There's something that we must do before we can solve. What do we have to do here? Real? Just combine like terms. Why did I keep that negative in front of that 4? Brayden?
Because you gotta keep it because it's in front of you.
Yes. Alright, so 6 minus 4 gives me what? Who's helping me? Rio. 2x. So I have 2x minus 5 equals 17. What do I do next? And then I have 2x equals 2. Huh? 2x equals 22. And then what do I do? 5. And I get thumbs up if you got that one. Alright. So, what you'll notice today about functions, if you can solve these, you're going to be golden. Because with functions, they give you the value for x. So all you're doing, instead of solving to find 14, you're plugging a number in for this value and solving. Order of operation. Okay, that's really and truly what functions is. So 14x, or x equals 14, x equals negative 7, x equals negative 15, and x equals 11. Alright, so this is what you're writing on your top line. A function uses a rule to... A function uses a rule to connect an input number, which is going to be our x, to an output number, which is y. And this goes on that top line. What is the function? What do you need, sweetie? What do you need? You're good? Okay. Thumbs up when you have this copied down. Sebastian and who else? Is that it? Just Sebastian today? For real, what did he do? Lord. Why does he mess with that woman? They be like butt heads. Him and Miss Hirsch, always. She ain't mean, she's just a sub that makes y'all do what you're supposed to.
She wouldn't let us go to the bathroom because other people were testing.
Okay, well.
That's dumb. That's stupid. That's
Jesus.
She's a stupid rule.
Life is stupid. Sooner you learn that, the easier it gets.
Unless she sent Mandy to the office for looking around the room.
Man,
Stupid.
what?
And he wasn't even doing. Oh yeah,
Yeah, he wasn't even doing nothing.
Alright. So, thumbs up when you're finished. Alright. So, each input value gives back exactly one output value, which we already kind of underlined that. Now, here's your example. So it says input 7 into y equals 2x plus 9. So remember, guys, your input is always your what? Your x or your y? It's always your x. So when it gives you an input, it's actually giving you x equals 7. So I want you to write that, x equals 7, underneath where it says example. And then from here, we're going to plug in 2 times 7 plus 9. And then you're just going to solve. So you're solving 2 times 7 plus 9. So what is 2 times 7? 14. 14 plus 9? 23. Okay? That's what you should have under your example. Thumbs up when you're done. Alright, so we have x equals 7. Then we plug that in. And then we know that that equals 23. So the input is 7 and the output is 23. Right? Because y equals... Huh? Y equals what? 23. Alright, so now you have an input-output table, or a function table. Remember this from 6th grade? We called it the input table, the ratio table, the equivalent ratio table. Again, all you're doing here is you're looking at your x values and you're plugging it in to solve for y. Which is, again, it's not, it looks crazy, but it's not. So my equation, or my function, technically, is y equals, was it x minus 5? Or x plus 5? X minus 5. So what is the first value for my first x? Based off of my table, looking at my table. What's the first value for x? -1. So I'm simply going to do y equals -1 minus 5. And I'm going to solve that. So what is -1 minus 5? Simply, it's going to be y equals -6. So all you're doing is plugging in each value for your table of your x's and you're getting your y's. So we just did this one, we get -6. I want you guys to do the other 3. So you're doing x equals 0, x equals 1, x equals 2. Stand up when you're done. You. Jeez. All right, so when I plug in 0 here, I have 0 minus 5. So y is going to equal what? You just call it out. Nice one. Negative 5. The next one. 1 minus 5. Y equals? Negative 4. The last one. 2 minus 5. Y equals? Negative 3. Y'all are going to be amazing at functions, I'm telling you. Any questions? So far, so good? Makes sense? Not hard? Okay. All right, so now we're changing our function. Our function is now 2x minus y equals 6. So everything changes. I have no idea what to do now, right? Why? Why don't we know how to solve this? Y'all just knocked every last one of these out of the park. Who cares? Do we still know the value for x to plug in? Okay, so this one, you have 2 times negative 1 minus y equals 6. What's 2 times negative 1? Negative 2 minus y equals 6. Can y'all solve that? So why can't you do the whole thing? It's nothing changes. Just because y isn't here doesn't mean we don't know how to solve this. So let's keep going. How do I get this variable by itself?
By adding negative 2 to what it's yeah, to the other side, and then yep, you got that.
So is that my answer? Negative y equals 8. Why is the y negative? Because it's negative here. You don't just drop your negatives. We got to get rid of that negative, right? Technically, this is what number in front of this y? 1. So technically, I'm going to divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. Y equals negative 8. Why do you look so confused? Why? What's confusing? How many of you guys are confused? Okay, what confused you?
Everything.
Why?
They flipped it.
You what?
They flipped it.
We flipped what?
No, they flipped it. That's the function.
They didn't flip it.
Yeah, they did.
They just put a number and a variable in front of
No,
you.
I just don't understand.
So
Like all of it.
functions are simply solving equations. And when we give you a value, you plug that value in. That's all this is. So it's simply solving equations with the value of one of your variables. You're solving for the other one. So, Brayden, the next one we're going to do is 0. So, x equals 0. So here, if x equals 0, where does my 0 go? In that equation, where does my 0 go? If x equals 0. So you play soccer, right? You ever get really tired and you need a sub? And you raise your hand and say, hey coach, I need a sub. And he takes you out and he puts someone else in. That's the same thing we're doing. So instead of this variable, because now we know what this variable means,
That's all.
we take this out and we put a 0 in. So this becomes 2 times 0 minus y equals 6. What about the next one? So what number, if this is 1, what number goes here? 1. If that's 2, what number goes here?
2.
2. You know how to multiply, right? And these are simple numbers to multiply. So you multiply this, and then you just solve for your variable. Just because your variable isn't x anymore doesn't mean anything is different. We're not solving for two different variables because we're being given the value of one variable. Does that make sense? We're being given the value of x. So let's go through if x equals 0. So, excuse me, let's do this one together. So we have 2 times 0 minus y equals 6. So what is 2 times 0? I'm asking again, what is 2 times 0?
0.
0. So I'm technically, this is gone, right? I mean, I can bring my 0 down, but it doesn't matter anymore. So now, I have negative y equals 6. So how do I get rid of this negative y? Brielle, how do I get rid of that negative y? What technically, there is a 1 right here, right? So what do we do when we have a number and a variable smushed together? Divide it. So I'm going to divide this by negative 1, divide that by negative 1. Y equals negative 6. Are you getting it, Brayden, or no?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right, so this is where we're at so far. So on your notes, you should have that line written, and you should have negative 8. You should have this written, and negative 6. Audrey, will you run down and have one of the teachers have my kids come back? Just say, Miss Kinney's kids, will you send them back to her? All right, so do the next one for me. So you guys go in and do x equals 1. Sorry. I didn't have this pulled up. Stand up when you have that finished. Well, I don't know how many of the multiple ones you have on. So 80 and above. All right, so Brayden, walk me through this one. So x equals 1. What do I do?
So you gotta do 2 times 1, and you gotta finish the rest of it. So minus y equals 6.
Okay.
You gotta do 2 times 1, and you get 2. Minus y equals 6.
Okay.
And you gotta add add the 2 to the 6.
What is that, a positive or a negative?
Oh, you gotta subtract it.
Okay.
And you get 4 on that side. And
Okay.
you get negative y equals 4.
Okay.
And then you gotta
Divide.
Yeah, divide the negative y by the 4, and you get negative 4.
Perfect. You can just set it there, and then. I don't have to take out, but we'll all do that. So thumbs up if you got that one. Thumbs up if it's making a little bit more sense. So it's not as hard as you thought. All right, last one. Plug in your 2. Stand up when you have your answer. Why are you talking about me? I can hear you. Why are you talking about me? I can hear you.
I saw the pattern. Yeah.
I said what?
I saw the pattern.
No way. Are you serious? What? 6th grade, quietly come in. get your stuff, and then you guys can head back out. Thank you. All right, so Jeffrey and Raiden just said, Miss Kenny, it's a pattern. Do you guys notice that? It's a pattern. Don't get caught up on that, though, because y'all are going to be like, oh, it was a pattern 3 days ago, and then you're going to see something new. You're like, what happened to the pattern? Okay? All right, so you should end up with what for this last one? Nevaeh. -2. All right. 6th grade, get your stuff and go. Have a seat. You too. What time do you guys go to lunch? 12:05, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, 12.
11:55 and 12.
Okay, this one will be the last thing we do before you guys go to lunch. This is really easy because it tells you your rule right here. All you're doing is plugging in, and you're going to write -1 minus 10. What does that equal? -1 minus 10. -1 minus 10? -11. Then you're going to plug in 0 minus 10 gives you what? Stop calling out. Jesus, Lord, take the wheel. 0 minus 10.
Oh, 10. Oh, no, -10. I forgot the minus.
All right, next one. 1 minus 10. -9. And 2 minus 10. Thank you. So make sure you have this written down, and then we will, as soon as you guys are just going to come back from lunch. Like, I'm not going to come and get you because I got to do a couple running arounds real quick. But at 12:25, y'all are coming back. Okay? Please make sure you have this. As soon as you have this, you may leave.